Super quick, low sugar, freezer strawberry jam. It's delicious, it's simple, and it uses chia seeds. It's a great way to preserve. Let's make some. So to make a strawberry jam, I've had other recipes where we actually cook it to the right consistency, get it thick, and then we water bath it, make it shelf stable. This is a quicker freezer jam. It's also low sugar. Oftentimes freezer jam recipes are extreme amounts of sugar, almost double the sugar to like per cup of fruit, because what sugar does is it doesn't really freeze. So it allows you to make something and have it stay right consistency. What we're gonna do instead is add some chia seeds. If you haven't used chia seeds, one, they're actually super healthy. We're not using them for the health benefits with their omega fats and all their wonderful properties. What we're using them for here is really a nice thickening agent. So we don't need near the amount of the sugar. I'm actually reducing it like a massive amount and gonna make it just sweet enough to really bring out the flavor. Thicken it slightly with the chia, and then we'll freeze it so you don't have to do any of the work of canning it or any of that type of preserving. It's the ultimate quick preserving. So what I have here, all my washed and hulled strawberries. Now when I hull them, I take the strawberry, and you can see how these are super ripe. And when you pick a good strawberry, you want it to be red all the way to the tip. That means it's gonna have flavor. This time of year, you can go and actually pick or go to farmers markets and find these. But if you see what I'm doing, I'm going in an angle around that stem. That's hulling. So you're taking out that little stem and leaving this and plopping it in there. I washed these three, but I wanted to save them for you so you could see how I hull them. That's truly hulling. And when you look inside even, look how some of these, they're even dark inside. If you go to a grocery store, especially off season, and buy a strawberry, they're white inside. And sometimes they're not even dark red like this. And guess what? They have no flavor. Use fruit when it's in season and find ways to preserve it so you can enjoy it throughout the year. This is preserving. So what we're gonna do is take all these beautiful strawberries. I mean, look at these. And we're gonna put them right into my saucepan here. So it's a larger, kind of a mid-sized stock pot, but what you can see is these are gonna cook down. So we're gonna add some sugar, like I said. You would think, okay, well, that's still a lot of sugar. It's not near the amount of sugar that one, a jam recipe has, two, especially a freezer jam. Now I'm gonna take some lemon. Anytime you're doing a jam, anytime you're working with fruit, citrus brings out the flavor. It really does. It adds a lot of delicious flavor. So we're gonna just juice that right on there, and look how beautiful that is. And instantly, it's like not only does it wake up on your tongue when you taste it, it wakes up in your nose and you all at once smell not only the citrus, but the strawberries. It's amazing. So now what I wanna do is actually just start mashing them slightly. So what this is gonna do is just get their juices flowing. It's gonna help them break down when they get on the stove and actually start that cooking process. So normal jams, how my jam recipes work, I should say, is I don't use pectin, but I do cook them, and then I cook the juice with the sugar to make it even thicker to the right consistency, kind of like candy making. With this, we're gonna do a very quick cook. Very short, very simple, just enough to really break down the strawberries to the right consistency, thicken them, and it's done. So it's really, to me, if preserving scares you, if canning scares you, this is the recipe. This is a great one to work with kids, or a great one just to wet your feet in kind of the world of jam making, because it's really, some people call it a cheater jam. I don't believe in that. I think it's a quick jam, and I think that's okay. There's not cheats. There's just different ways to do things, and that's what this is. So as you can see, look what in here. You're seeing all this juice that's now accumulating from those strawberries. That's gonna be the liquid that's gonna help it really cook. So we just want it to come up to a simmer, cook for about, 5 minutes until they really break down, and we'll be good to go. So I'm gonna take this to the stove, put it on over medium heat, let it come up to a good simmer, cook for a little bit, and we'll be good to go. So this boiled for about 5 minutes, and what you're doing is really just dissolving the sugar. Now you're gonna notice a little bit of foam on it. Now you can take off the foam, you can leave the foam. So the reason a lot of people take off the foam is there's a question when you water bath something if the foam is safe to can. We're not doing that, so it's not really a huge issue. I stir it in. Now, as opposed to water bathing, we're not gonna have this thickened with pectin or with natural pectin, anything. So what we do wanna do though, is have chia seeds. So chia seeds, I don't know if you've ever used them. If you haven't, they have this interesting and amazing ability where they thicken. So you can add them to like overnight oats. You can add them to something and make almost like a pudding just out of chia seeds. So what we're gonna do is add in our chia and let it sit for like 5 minutes. And at that point, you kind of add in maybe a small amount or less, kind of the base amount, and you see how much it thickens, because you can always thicken it more. You can't take them out. And at first you're gonna say, well, that doesn't look like anything. It takes about 5 minutes for the chia to actually absorb and thicken. So we're gonna just let this sit for about 5 minutes and I'll show you the difference. So this has sat a while, and what is just happening is the chia seeds are just absorbing. So much like we would add a thickener to something else, whether it's flour, cornstarch, the chia seeds thicken. The difference here is you cannot can this. You cannot put it in a water bath or pressure can it and make it shelf stable. The only safe thickener to can with is clear gel. That's the only thing you can can with and make it safe. So chia seeds are not approved to can, but they're great if you're gonna do freezer or fridge jam and want it to be a little bit lower sugar and be quick. Hence, it's kind of this nice thick viscosity. Now this is where you can take however you want to do it and make it work for you. If you like it thicker, do it thicker. Now, I am not scared to put glass in the freezer, and the big thing is you just can't overfill it because it will expand. So you have to know where to fill it. So I put some in glass containers, but you can also do, you know, little reusable plastic containers. So you can do whichever one works for you, label them. And now anytime you want to get one out and you want it, just put it in like the fridge the night before, because it will harden slightly more than maybe a true freezer jam, but you're having so much less sugar that it's really no big deal. And you have all the beautiful fruit, so much flavor is retained. I mean, look how pretty it really is. And those seeds, if you're wondering, they have no flavor. They kind of just more seem like a seed from a berry. So but they break down really quickly. It's not a hard seed that could get, you know, break a tooth. It's very soft and you don't even really think about it. So I'm gonna fill up some more jars, but you know what? I think what we need here is a taste. So to me, anytime you know if a jam is good, the proof is in the flavor. It's fresh. It has just a little bit of that tanginess from the lemon that brings out the natural strawberry flavor and slight tanginess. Sweet because we add a little bit of sugar. Now, there is a reason here I didn't add honey or other sweeteners. I actually think when it comes to something like a fruit, a clean sweetener like sugar brings out the flavor the best. If you think you want to use a honey, you could do that. But again, I just think there's something about the sugar that makes it more clean and brings out the strawberry flavor. So what's great about this, you can put it in the freezer, you can get it out and you can have it through the winter. You can give it as gifts. It's a great way to preserve and it's really quick. So what I hope you do with this, I hope you make it. I hope you enjoy the fruits of the season and actually pick them while they're ripe and in season. Support a local farmer, a farmer's market, whatever it is. Share this video around because yes, it helps me, but it helps everyone see this is super doable and easy. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So check my website, wiseguy.com for this recipe and all my other recipes. Until then, I don't know, enjoy something like fresh fruit because it really is delicious.